Good evening, everyone. I'm hoping you guys having a great afternoon so far. I know that some of you would be quite exhausted by now because, I'm already the seventh speaker of the night. So I assume that some of you here would love to have some more food to eat. Did you know that food is one of the three things that every single person on this earth need to be able to survive? The two other things are water and oxygen. And unlike the old days when humans have to go into woods to hunt for rabbits for meat or look for rivers for fresh water, we now have an amazing place. It is called the supermarket. The supermarket is a place where thousands or millions of different products or from different brands are displayed. You can find anything there. The one question that I always have is, how does these brands withstand the fluctuating market? And how does these methods to withstand that affect us as the consumers? And the one big question is how to be a smart consumer. You see, whenever you decide to buy a product, there are two things that will affect you. The first thing is the psychology of the sellers, and the second thing is the psychology of you, the consumer. I will tell you a story. I remember it was last summer, and it was very hot outside. It was like 40 degrees Celsius outside, and I was absolutely dehydrated. And unlike a normal human would do, I didn't go to a supermarket. I decided to go to a mall, a huge mall, to look for a single water bottle. I walked into there, yes, and the next thing I know, I've been wandering around the mall for 20 minutes without any luck finding any water. And then suddenly I found out I was lost. So I stood there, and I think in my mind, okay, I do not know where I am right now. I do not know where the exit is, and I do not know where the water is. So I need to find an employee to help me. As I was thinking that, I looked to the side, and lo and behold, there is the snack aisle. For 1 second, I forgot that I went into there for water. So I went straight for the next snacks aisle. So the first thing that came into my sight is the family-sized chip bag. It was 20% off, absolutely amazing, absolutely a steal. And then I looked down. Oh, the small pack, great. Nobody wants the small one, right? Does anyone want the small one? No, yeah. So like a teenager would do, I grabbed the family-sized one and go to the checkout. On my way to the checkout, I found water. Amazing! I have snacks, and now I have water, the thing I came in here for. And so, continue my journey to the checkout. So you see, I came into the mall with the intention of hydrating myself, but I walked out of the mall holding a family-sized chip bag, a pack of gummy bears, which are dehydrating snacks. And then I have a bottle of water. Well, at least I still have the thing I came in there for, right? So a lot of people would tell me that I have weak mentality. But no, nah, I'm never wrong. I blame it on the sellers. They did tricks on me. It was not my fault. I fell for the tricks. You see, whenever you go into a supermarket or a mall or any kind of store at all, you would think that stuff or, products are displayed randomly. But no, every single placement is very precise. They all have intentions after them. So, for example, staples like vegetables, meat, rice, bread, the things that everyone needs would be pushed to the back of the store. Why? So you have to spend more time browsing other tempting products before you reach what you need. That's why I spent 20 minutes looking for water, because I was wandering at the front of the store. I did not look at the back. So what are tempting products? It could be, cute plushies, it could be snacks, it could be discount products. Those are the things that will be pushed at the front. You have to go through all of that. The more that you browse, the more likely you are to grab a product. So that's what the sellers do. Now with the chip bag situation, why did I grab the family size one and not the small one? Because the first thing that I saw when I walked into that aisle is the family sized one. You see, sellers would put the things that they want to boost sales on at the eye level shelves. And other things, cheaper products, knockoff brands, or things that is just not desirable for the sellers will be put at the lower or the upper shelves, where things are less reachable, things are less approachable. Now you would ask me, how did I got the gummy bears? Yeah, I got it from the checkout. Do you know, at the checkout, they usually display a lot of candies, chocolates, and cigarettes? I call those the quick grabs. Why are they the quick grabs? At the checkout, while the cashier is scanning your items, you kind of have this, time pressure. That once the cashier finished checking out your stuff, you do not have time to grab anything anymore. And the thing about the products they put there is that those are the products that you do not mind having. For example, candies or cigarettes, you know that you grab it, you buy it, sooner or later you will use it. You do not mind having it. That, with the time pressure, really just push you and encourage you to grab that as quickly as possible and walk out. Yeah, so I fell for a lot of tricks. Yeah. So you see, that is some small tricks that the third party, the supermarket in the mall does to trick you. What about the companies that make those products? What about the brands? I hope that most of you here have heard of these Stanley Cups. If you do not know what Stanley Cups are, it's fine. I just knew about it, dig deep into it recently. Stanley Cups are basically overpriced stainless steel cups. But why does it create such a frenzy over consumers? I remember the last time I saw multiple videos of people camping outside of Walmart and Target to wait for those malls to open up so they could get the limited edition Stanley Cup. It's crazy. It sounds crazy to me, but apparently that is what people do. So why is that? The thing about Stanley Cups is that just a year ago, when it was, very popular, every single influencer, every single social media person have it. And it creates this kind of feeling of FOMO if you do not have it. So you buy the Stanley Cups to fit in. But then, that is not the trick that Stanley does. The thing that Stanley does is that they publish a lot of limited edition cups. So you buy Stanley to fit in, but you buy the limited editions to stand out. They target exclusivity. They want their consumer to feel special. So they do that. So there are three things that companies or brands would target when it comes to consumerism. Is the needs, the wants, and exclusivity. What are the needs? The needs are the things that every single person needs, like food or water and all that. But the needs could also be the things that make your life more convenient, like technology or AI. Those are the things that make your life more convenient. And then we have the wants. What are the wants? The wants are the thing that is aligned with your personality, or it kind of, fits with the role model you want to become. For example, I love makeup. I love doing makeup. I adore makeup. So the things that I want to do is buy a lot of makeup products. If you're a bookworm, the things you want will be a book. It's that simple. And the last thing that they target is exclusivity. What is exclusivity? Usually luxurious brands or brands that create items like trending items would target this. They want the consumer to feel special when they have their products. So now that you have known the tricks of the third party, which provides you the products, and you know the psychology of the people who make the products, what about us? What about us, the consumers? Do you understand yourself? You see, my mom, she's a very lovely woman. I love her. But I always have this question. You see, growing up, my mom have never, ever in her life touched an Android phone. She is an absolutely loyal Apple fan. And when I say loyal, I mean loyal. I mean, she never touched anything that is Android. I never really asked her why. But, even when she buy phones for me, she would say, "Oh, you want a smartphone? Nah, I'm not going to buy you an Android one. I'm going to buy you an Apple iPhone." Hey, not that I'm complaining as long as I have a phone. But, you see, I was curious, so I observed her. And I came into a conclusion that there are three main things that affect her decision on being a loyal Apple fan. The first thing is that every single person around her, her friends, her close ones, everyone, they say that Apple have great security. They have great ecosystem. My mom is not as professional in smartphone and all that. So the things that the people say is all that she knows. She thinks that if the majority say that, Apple is good, then it must be good, right? Because it works for most people. And then there's another thing that kind of affects this. The first smartphone that she has ever had is an iPhone. Her second smartphone was an iPhone. And her third phone, which is the phone that she's having now, is also an iPhone. Smartphones are not cheap. It costs quite a sum. And to not waste time and money, she goes back to her old ways. She would go for something that she knows is gonna work for her. She's not gonna spend a lot of money trying out Androids if she knows that she could use that money to buy something that she's familiar with, that she knows gonna work 100% for her. We are humans. We are creatures of habit. So it's only understandable that we go back to the old brands that we're used to. And one last thing that kind of affects our decision to buy or not is the visual of the product. You see, luxurious brands like Dior, Chanel, or YSL, they have their logos with only two colors, black and white. Because why? Because it shows class. It shows the consumers that their products are expensive, are exclusive. Expensive brands would use black, white, and deep colors like navy blue, emerald, or burgundy to show to the consumers that, hey, this is expensive. Like Ralph Lauren, they have a lot of navy blue colored products. And then we have McDonald's and Burger King. Those brands only use 3 colors for their logos, which is bright yellow, bright red, and blue. 3 of those colors, all 3 of them, are primary colors, which show the consumers that our brands serve cheap products. Because fast food, they target the middle class. They want to show you that our product is very speedy, it's very fast, and it's cheap, it's affordable. Those are some small little psychology tricks that might affect you unconsciously. The first thing that came into your mind when you buy a product is the visual, and then the habit and the reviews comes in. Now, you have understand the psychology of the sellers, you have understand the psychology of you, the consumers. Then how or what can we do to become a smart consumers? I have 2 advice for you guys. The first one is to have a financial plan. And the second one is to take everything with a grain of salt. I have dig deep into the financial plan stuff. And I found out this method that a lot of finance students use to manage their own personal finance. It is called the 50-30-20 method. So let's imagine you are a normal guy who worked a 9-to-5 job, and one day you got your paycheck. You would divide that paycheck into 3 parts. The first part taking up 50% of the salary, the second part taking up 30%, and the last part taking up 20%. The first 50% would be used to pay for your needs, like your bills, transportations, food, groceries, everything would be paid in that 50%. And then the 30% would be used to buy the things that you want. Like you want new clothes, you want a vacation, anything. That will be paid at the 30% group. And then the last 20% of your payment would be used for saving up. You could either choose to save up for a goal, like saving up for a car, or you could choose to save up for emergencies. It's up to you. My next advice is to take everything with a grain of salt. Do you remember the needs, wants, and exclusivity that every single company target? Yeah, those. You need to, every single time that you hear like an ad or anyone telling you that, oh, this product is very good, you need to take it with a grain of salt. For example, last time I was scrolling TikTok and I saw an advertisement for a UV light phone cleaner. So it's like a phone cleaner using UV lights. And I was like, okay, but like my hands probably have more germs than my phone. So does it really works or does anything? You see, when technology it's so advanced, it has solved most of our problems. So sellers have to create new problems to be solved. And if you do not take it with a grain of salt, then yeah, you're going to follow those tricks. One of the greatest seller businessmen, who is the founder of one of the greatest online shopping platform, Amazon, the guy is Jeff Bezos. He once said that what consumerism really, at its worst, is just getting people to buy the things that don't actually improve their lives. One of the greatest businessmen out there said this. So you as the consumer has to be really mindful of everything that you hear online. Thank you so much for listening to my speech.